Why is Kabuto Yakushi considered a highly controversial boss? Kabuto Yakushi, one of the three major war criminals of the Fourth Great Ninja War, is a figure shrouded in controversy. His use of the Impure World Reanimation technique to summon an army of resurrected shinobi led to the deaths of countless allied shinobi forces. Particularly, his reanimation of Madara Uchiha pushed the allied forces to the brink of defeat. The fact that he used living humans as sacrifices for the reanimation technique is undeniably unforgivable. Yet, despite his crimes, the Leaf Village allowed him to remain and even entrusted him with teaching orphans, giving him a relatively positive ending. Many people's opinions of him are mixed. While he is undeniably a villain who committed heinous acts, his character also embodies tragedy, suffering, and relentless effort. His anti-bloodline ideology has even earned him a degree of empathy from some. In this video, we'll explore what makes Kabuto a character worth recognizing and even appreciating. First, Kabuto's character design is intriguing. Kabuto exudes the unique charm of a schemer. His deep red cloak and sinister expression give off the impression of a cunning, intellectual villain. However, this is only the first impression. Beneath that unassuming cloak lies terrifying power, which explains why he dared to make deals with someone like Obito. With his army of reanimated shinobi and the hidden power of Sage Mode, Kabuto was no pushover. To him, Obito was just a pawn in his grand scheme. Kabuto treated the entire war as his chessboard, with the reanimated shinobi as his pieces. Among these pieces were top-tier fighters like Nagato and Itachi, whom Kabuto planned to use to capture the Eight Tails and Nine Tails before Obito could. This would give him leverage in his negotiations with Obito, including the exchange for Sasuke. However, his plans backfired when Itachi, the trump card designated by Kishimoto himself, broke free from his control. Despite this, Kabuto still managed to experience the power of the Rinnegan firsthand. The strongest piece. Madara Uchiha. Among Kabuto's reanimated shinobi, the strongest was undoubtedly Madara Uchiha, a legendary figure on par with Hashirama Senju. Kabuto considered Madara his ultimate chess piece, and even modified his reanimated body to combine the youthfulness of his prime with the power of his older self, including the Rinnegan. Kabuto confidently boasted to Madara, "I've modified your body, a youthful form with the abilities of your older self. You must be pleased." However, Kabuto overestimated his own role in Madara's power. In reality, Madara's strength was entirely his own. Kabuto's plan to use Madara to turn the tide of the war ultimately failed when Sasuke and Itachi infiltrated his hideout, leading to his defeat. Kabuto's strategic brilliance. Throughout the war, Kabuto gave the impression of a shadowy figure who could dictate the course of battle without ever stepping onto the front lines. He treated the war as a chessboard and everyone else as his pawns. This kind of character who operates from the shadows and manipulates events on a grand scale is always a standout in any story. Additionally, Kabuto has a certain elegance about him. One of my favorite lines from him is when he tells Deidara, "I may not understand art, but a wise man protects artists." While he claims not to understand art, this statement itself is incredibly artistic. Kabuto's strength, earned through effort. Kabuto's strength is another aspect worth noting. Unlike many characters who rely on innate bloodline abilities or external power-ups, Kabuto's strength was earned through relentless effort and a willingness to take extreme risks. From a young age, Kabuto showed remarkable talent, such as when he caught Orochimaru's attention with his medical ninjutsu. He even held his own against Tsunade, one of the legendary Sannin in combat. For someone without a prestigious bloodline, this was already impressive. However, Kabuto refused to accept his limitations and chose an extreme path to power. After Orochimaru's death, Kabuto injected himself with Orochimaru's cells, enduring the excruciating process of having his body overtaken by white snakes. Through sheer willpower, He survived and continued to enhance himself by integrating cells from other powerful individuals, effectively turning himself into a chimera. Since he lacked innate Keki Genkai or secret techniques, he created his own. The result: a formidable war machine. By the time of the Fourth Great Ninja War, Kabuto had transformed into a powerful entity. He also dedicated himself to learning and accumulating knowledge, constantly improving his techniques. While others slept, Kabuto could often be found near the grave sites of the Leaf and other villages, tirelessly working to perfect his Impure World Reanimation technique. Even when his attempts failed, he never gave up. For example, after failing to reanimate Chio and other shinobi, he eventually succeeded in bringing back figures like Hanzo of the Salamander and Sasori of the Red Sand. This level of dedication and effort is both terrifying and admirable. Kabuto even attempted to locate the bodies of Jiraiya and Kisame, though he was unaware of Obito's true identity. If he had known, he could have reanimated Rin and easily manipulated Obito. Kabuto's Sage Mode, a game changer. Setting aside the Impure World Reanimation, Kabuto's personal strength is formidable. During his battle with Sasuke and Itachi, he revealed that he had visited Ryuchi Cave and mastered Sage Mode. This elevated the difficulty of dealing with him significantly. Kabuto's Sage Mode gave him dragon-like horns, and according to the lore of Ryuchi Cave, the more animalistic features one exhibits, the more perfect their Sage Mode becomes. Kabuto's Sage Mode was nearly permanent. Thanks to his dual snake and dragon enhancements, beyond stat boosts, his Sage Mode granted him devastating abilities, such as the White Snake technique, which allowed him to counter Sasuke's Susanoo with ease. Kabuto's redemption and inner conflict. What makes Kabuto truly compelling is his inner conflict and eventual redemption. Despite his villainous actions, he never forgot his roots. As an orphan, he found solace in the care of Nono Yakushi, who ran an orphanage. Her kindness gave him a sense of belonging, and he joined Danzo's root organization to protect the orphanage. However, after being manipulated into killing Nono, Kabuto lost his sense of purpose. Orochimaru became his new guide, and Kabuto dedicated himself to fulfilling Orochimaru's ambitions. Yet, after Orochimaru's demise, Kabuto once again found himself adrift. He absorbed Orochimaru's knowledge and even surpassed him, achieving Sage Mode and becoming a force to be reckoned with. However, despite his newfound power, Kabuto felt empty. He envied Itachi and Sasuke for their innate sense of self, something he had always struggled to find. The power of Itachi's Izanami. Kabuto's downfall came at the hands of Itachi's Izanami, a genjutsu designed to trap those who have lost their sense of self. After enduring the endless loop of Izanami, Kabuto finally confronted his true self and found redemption. He returned to the orphanage, rediscovering the purity of his original intentions. This conclusion was a masterstroke, as it brought Kabuto's journey full circle. Though he was a villain, his story is one of resilience, self-discovery, and ultimately, redemption. Conclusion: Kabuto Yakushi is a complex and controversial character. His intelligence, strategic mind, and relentless pursuit of power make him a standout villain in the Naruto series. While his actions are undeniably evil, his backstory and determination also evoke a sense of tragedy and even admiration. Whether you love him or hate him, there's no denying that Kabuto is one of the most fascinating characters in the Naruto universe. His journey from a lost orphan to a powerful, self-aware individual is a testament to the series' depth and complexity. If you enjoyed this analysis, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content.